What's going on, all you badasses and gamers out there? PhatSamuraiGuy is here hanging out again, back on the channel. The immortal John Hancock. Welcome back again, brother. It's always awesome to have you here to talk movies and games. And today we decided to do a little bit of both, for better or for worse, on our Is It Really That Bad series that we have here on the channel. So I was like, you know what? I have not seen the new Doom movie. I'm curious about it. Who else but to bring in to view it with me so we could talk about it and decide at the end, is it really that bad? Now, how well do you remember the first Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban?
I remember seeing it in the theater. And you know, college, early 2000s. So, you know, that was post-college years, but I wasn't a full adult. Right. So, which means, you know, I probably had a beer or two, went and saw the movie, you know, popcorn flick, entertaining. It was The Rock. Okay. Yeah. Like, I kind of walked away saying, like, you know, really, you know, video game movies have gotten so much better. Like, they just have. And I don't know. I didn't think it was terrible.
It's harmless, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, I didn't have any expectations. We talked about this in a previous video where your expectations set you up for how you process a movie, I think. Like, if you go in with zero expectations, you just want to be entertained. There's those movies. Then there's like, I'm a hardcore fan. They better get this shit right. Right. Or you just go in and like, okay, you know, or you can go in, I guess, saying it is terrible and I want to see how bad it is.
Right.
Which is kind of where we were at with this.
Yeah, pretty much. Because we saw the Rotten Tomatoes scores and the 15% audience. That's where we're going to leave it at that. 50% audience rating.
15.
15, excuse me, 15. Yeah. So I was like, we got to check this out. But it was going back to the first one. It's harmless. It's not the worst thing ever. It's fun seeing The Rock play a villain. Yeah. We were a fan of Carl Urban before he got popular. And the first person views action sequence was the most memorable part. It's the best part.
Yeah.
That one first person action sequence in the first Doom movie is better than the entire movie of Doom Annihilation, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think there's like homage and believable, or not even believable, that's a bad word. Homage to the series. Right. And then you got basic crap wrong and you're not going to get the fan base to like it. Right.
Now I'm assuming you have grown up with the Doom series, right? You played all of the games pretty much?
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, casually, I'm not.
You're like a fan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right. And I'm a fan as well. The two most recent ones, Doom and Doom Eternal, I played the demos and they're like so good. I just need to buy both of them, you know.
The Xbox Series X. So I have an Xbox Series X, and so the Doom 2016 one is Series X enhanced.
Oh shit!
So it looks great.
Oh, okay. So it's like smooth.
I think they're working on that one with the next one. Or okay, I mean, I don't know. I could be getting either one wrong, but like they look great. Like they really have done a good job with like restarting the Doom franchise. You know, the Doom 3 on Xbox and PC, that was amazing.
I enjoyed Doom 3. Doom 3 got a lot of hate when it came out because was the reason because it was so different.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever you kind of take away, like you steer a franchise into like current gen, you're always going to lose those fans of the original. Oh, it's, you know, they just trapped it, you know. And I don't think Doom 3 is better than the originals or the impact. Right. But what I like is they did some cool things. There were some cool mods on PC. You know, then there was like a BFG edition for original Xbox. I think it's remembered fondly as a sequel. I don't think it will ever touch the original, you know, the originals on the PC or what the impact they had. But it was okay. But
I think I agree with you. I think now people look back fondly on it. But I remember when I bought it, I was so excited. People were like, "Man, that game sucks." I'm like, "Really?" But that was way back in the day. That was back.
Scary. I love
yeah.
the limited lighting and like
Yeah.
the whole aspect where you can't see much, and then you have a monster in your face,
Right?
and
Yeah.
it's
It's like
scared
more,
the living you know what out of me. I mean, it was
more survival horror than
Yes.
action, right?
Mhm.
Right. But
Very scary.
But still done well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've played more of the Doom games, and you kind of gotten the lore obviously way more than me.
Well,
So
I mean,
I'm curious
yeah.
so okay. Now I had it queued here that I was going to go to, because that's what I usually do. I go to IMDb.
Yep.
And just to check the hold on a second, just to check the plot synopsis and all that stuff, just to read it for people.
Absolutely.
Spoilers, and with this series, spoilers, who's ever watching, we're going to get into it. Okay, so Doom Annihilation, aka quick cash grab, because the brand new fucking game's coming out.
Yeah. Or the game, no, the game came, so what it was, the 2016 Doom sold great. So then that sparked, hey, you know, they want to do this movie, but then they I guess there was a green light because the game was so popular. So let's cash in on something that's popular.
Right. Because the release date's 2019, and then Doom Eternal came out in 2020. So they were probably trying to push that movie out first. You know.
Well, the release of the 2016 video game. So when I say 2016, so yeah, 2016. Yeah, well, you're right. 2016 was a game, and they wanted a 2018 release. You're right.
Gotcha. Directed by Tony Giglio. Sorry if I messed up the name there. Starring who gives a fuck. All right. So the plot. So the plot synopsis is: a group of UAC Marines respond to a distress call from a top secret scientific base on Phobos, a moon around Mars, only to discover it's been overrun by demons who seek to create hell on Earth. The plot sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds nice, but yeah.
I mean, you definitely I could just say when I first saw it, and they had the Marines, it's like, no, they're not ripping off aliens at all. It was the first thing. I was like, is this trying to be Doom? Or is this trying to be aliens?
Right.
And then just the more you watch this, and okay, everybody's got a category of why they watch a movie.
Yes.
Okay? Entertaining. I like the genre, or I'm a fan of an actor or a director, or I want to see how bad this shit is.
Right.
Okay. And it's in this category.
Yeah.
Okay? And, it's not low budget. Here's the funny thing. I don't know what the budget was. Does it say what the budget was of this film?
It's not low budget?
But it looks low. That's my biggest complaint of this thing. It's like, I would give this movie a lot more credit if it was a fan movie,
right,
or a low budget, like it was on a shoestring. But it was done by Universal. And it just doesn't. I mean, the first thing you notice when the setting is like, okay, they had some leftover storage facility that they shot this thing in. I mean, it was just that right there. You can't believe the setting that these people are in.
Right.
That kind of shoots it right there.
Right.
I definitely got that vibe watching this.
Yeah. Obviously, it looks like it's a way more or less budget than the first Doom. But here's the thing: we're probably gonna shit all over this movie for different reasons, which is fine. That's why we're here to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So once it started, maybe the first 10 minutes go by, I'm like, okay, this looks and sounds like a straight to video flick, or straight to Netflix, but even more lower budgeted. Yeah. Okay, all right, let me accept it on its own terms.
Okay,
and let me see if I can at least get some entertainment out of it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and then when that failed me, that's when I started getting mad.
yeah. I mean, it just. I don't know, it lost me. They were trying to do some relationship. One of the scientists had a relationship with the main actor.
Yeah, the lieutenant.
With the lieutenant,
the female lieutenant,
Joan.
Yeah.
And they had some, and he's pretty nerdy looking. So it's kind of a hard believe that okay, she's, not ugly.
Right.
And he just doesn't pass as an actor, as a scientist. He's just kind of your normal guy.
He's just there to simp. He's just simping after her.
It just doesn't work. And they're trying, and then the one thing I think that they tried, and I think it half got it right, was when the scientist was arguing with like whoever's funding it, and they had this phone call. Like that was like the best part of the scientist is being passionate. This is the greatest discovery. They discovered the transport thing, and and then the people in the government or the states funding it. They're like, that was like, to me, the best part of this film, because it was actually trying to like sum up kind of what's going on. The scientists want to continue with this experiment that's obviously going horribly wrong.
Right.
With the government that's like saying, if you don't produce something, then we got to shut it down. Right.
And they're going to get cut. The funding's going to get cut. They're going to shut it down if they don't get results. Right.
Yeah. That was like the best part of the story in the whole movie.
Story?
Everything else crapped on it.
Yeah. So, fun. All right. So we have this whole teleport deconstruction of the human being experiment thing. I was like, what is going on? Just say it's a portal to hell, okay? Yeah, or a portal somewhere. But they're like, no, we go in there and it deconstructs the human being, and they come back out better or whatever.
Yeah.
I was already laughing with the title. When the title of the movie came up, I was already laughing. Yeah. I was like, oh no. Because the transition of it was so bad. Well, I was like, oh no.
And I think there's other fans. So either you're like a sci-fi fan and you like sci-fi, space, marines, things, creatures.
Right.
Or you like the demonic, that's like a separate category to me. I'm just a casual film watcher, but to me, you're kind of in one category or other, Right. And I think part of the problem with Doom Annihilation is, what are you trying to be? Because you screwed up the alien. I think that's the other thing too. They made it more alien than demonic. They had these alien monster things, but to me, it wasn't demonic enough. Right. And how they looked. Oh my gosh. Seriously, it reminded me of the bottom of the barrel budget creature looking thing. And
at first when that demon appeared, I gave it a pass because I was like, oh, they got a practical affected suit. Okay.
Yeah.
But then when the movie went on and that's all you saw for the rest of the movie, I was like, oh no, they just had one suit. And they just had to keep using that one suit as if other of these demons showed up. The same thing with the demonic zombies we had running around. You could tell those are the same people after they get shot. Oh, okay, run over there to that side of the set. We're going to film over there. They come run around again. They get shot again. You could tell they just didn't have the budget, so they're just reusing the same actors. And, it's just, okay. So let's get into it a little bit here. It's funny, for a second there, I could have sworn that the Space Marine Winslow that had beef with the lieutenant. So everyone's got beef with the lieutenant because she went against, she was insubordinate, went against her orders, and so they kind of look at it as a punishment, getting transferred over to Phobos, right?
Yes.
Phobos, or who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck?
It doesn't matter, because you're going to get about 5 minutes into the movie and it's not going to matter.
Yeah, they're gonna. And so they're all mad. So there's this tension and stuff like that. Of course, later she proves her worth, blah, 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 whatever. But when the Space Marine Winslow, for the whole movie, I thought that was the guy who played Kano in the new Mortal Kombat game, in the new Mortal Kombat movie, because he kind of looked like him without facial hair. He had the accent. He was acting like Kano acted in the Mortal Kombat movie. It was a different actor.
Oh, that's funny. And it happens too, because you're into this stuff. That there's actually, when it comes down to it, a pretty small pool of actors that get recycled, or they get liked by a director and then they're used in other movies. And that's funny. And
I was like, oh, it's another guy. I was like, all right. But he was making me laugh a little bit. I mean, when you're not entertained, I'm literally grabbing at straws here, grasping at straws. I'm just for something. And he was just like, I know what this is. They're all arming up and getting ready to go to the base. This is fucking aliens.
Yeah. So Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
scientist, my big problem early on was that scientist, whatever his character, the scientist is supposed to be the ex-boyfriend. And of course,
Right.
he's the expert of the base. He's never been there. So
Yeah.
he supposedly read some technical journal and knows that there's a secret extra hatch or whatever way to
Yeah.
sneak into the base.
I like to read. I like to read. That was his explanation. We're gonna call him Professor Simp.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. The weapons, like early on, that like, and part of it too is going back to like what's not believable is they're supposed to be like special Marines,
yeah.
and they look just all normal. Like they're just, I don't know. It was like, boy, if that's the special Marines, I hate to see the normal Marines because
the worst thing though about their outfit was the safety goggles that you can go buy at Home Depot, but yet on the other side it's like, oh, it's the HUD. Look, it's the HUD, like from the games, and I'm like, it's safety goggles, man.
Yeah, you can really tell, and I think that's the one thing. Like, it doesn't matter what your budget is, but when you can't believe the environment of what's going on, it just starts to disintegrate the whole premise. Like, I can deal with kind of the half-ass story because they were trying to do a backstory, and they tried. Okay, I don't expect much in that department,
right?
But it was not believable where their like warehouse or wherever this was filmed.
Yeah.
The ship effects were okay. I gotta say that, and they must have spent half the budget on that. That was okay. I like the key card. That was a cool homage to like Doom with like they tried with that.
Right.
But the Marines, the guns, the enemy, the enemy. I mean,
the enemy, the recycled
zombie,
enemy.
All that just really kind of started to disintegrate what they were trying to do.
Right.
And even it was kind of weird too, because so the scientist was like being passionate about doing this portal, and he was kind of a jerk, and like they kept him like he's continuing to want to like use this transportation, but like I don't know, like why didn't they shoot him? Like I don't know, like at some point it's like they kept him around, and I don't know, it was the main bad guy, the main bad scientist,
who was desperate and went through the deconstruction portal to hell. Basically, came back, and he came back undead, still evil, and going along with the demons' plan of. I guess they've been here before us. They've taught us math. They've taught us science. They were here before the pyramids. They want their world back. This is the dialogue we have in this movie. So let's get back to Discount Ripley in the movie.
Love it. Discount Ripley. I love it.
Discount Ripley. Oh, man. Like... I hope she's a stunt woman and that was her doing the action, because I can give her props for that, because if she did some decent action movements, some slides. I like how she got up on top of the demon and shot it in the head as it fell down. Action, that's my shit right there. So I'm like, okay, they're trying to make it entertaining to see where this goes. So it was either her that did it, props for her, the actress, or props to the stunt double that that did all that stuff. I mean, there was a chainsaw attack. She was slicing dudes' necks. So there was chainsaw. I was kind of like this when the zombie demons first came, and there was all this action. I was like, okay, because this is my kind of shit. Because I love creature feature stuff like this, and love zombie films. So I'm like, okay, let's see where they go with this, right? And the way some of them were getting killed off, I was like, oh, you guys did not have the budget to give us good practical effects, because some of the deaths were horrid. Like when the first Space Marine died, he got his throat ripped out. And I was like, okay, all right, movie. Let's see what give me some more entertainment here. And the rest of the one girl, Lee, gets bit, who had a interesting conversation about her lucky undies that got kidnapped earlier and stolen earlier. Yeah. She gets bit on the arm, and I'm like, okay, so is she going to turn into a demon later?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Nope, she just got impaled through like a lot of hand going through people, and that's it. It was so lame.
Do you think that like do you think it was a possible casualty of like the story changing as they filmed it? Like, because that's what exactly I thought. So she got bit, and I thought, okay, she's going to turn, and they did nothing with that. I think the other issue too, and you bring up a good point. I would have liked this movie more if it went with like more horror.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Like at first, the zombies, like even though they were like, okay, they kind of look kind of lame, like they were biting and stuff.
Yeah.
Like to me, I think it would have been a better movie and scarier with that. They could have had like, like kind of an Alien where one at a time these people were getting knocked off.
Right.
But they didn't go that route. Nope. No. They didn't. They just it's kind of like they started that route with the movie and then they just like shifted it into something else. And I think it lost part of me when it did that.
Yeah. That's kind of what happened. Because remember what I was saying earlier, okay, it's low budget. All right. I'm going to accept the movie on its own terms.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting some entertainment here. There's some body count, right? We're getting some action. Okay. Oh, no. All right. No, enough of that.
Yeah, I love the discount Ripley.
You like that, yeah.
Because I have a buddy that uses that term, a discount, all the time. And so, like, to me, yeah, it's definitely ripping off Aliens. But
there's been fun. There's been, in a bad way. Yeah, you just beat me to the punch there. In a bad way, yeah. And it's just like, in discount Ripley, despite the action that she was doing or her stunt double was doing, Jesus Christ, just wooden. The acting performance throughout the whole movie was just, we need to do this, and then we need to go here, and then we need to do this. It was just so dry and wooden. Even when she was trying to show emotion, it was just like, we're not going to stand for this. It's like, come on.
That's what happens when you don't have a budget. So you don't have a setting that's believable. You don't have the actors that you believe, and you don't have a script that carries the dialogue when there isn't the action that you can afford.
Yeah.
So it's like the strike one, strike two, strike three. And so as more dialogue went, you're not caring about that. The aliens and all that is just bad. Yeah. And then then you get the real whatever the phase 2 or whatever the other aliens.
Right. That happens at the end, which we'll get to in a second.
Well, yeah, no, the bad looking, not the zombies, but the
practical effects suit.
Yeah.
Suit.
So that one is worse than I like. The zombies were like low budget, but like you're hoping that like, okay, like they're gonna do like they're just gonna kill a bunch of people. Okay, I can deal with that.
Right.
Then when they went to the practical effect, lame looking alien with a lame looking fireball.
Oh my god!
Action scene.
Oh my god! The worst fireball was when it shot it at Winslow.
Yeah.
And it was like this horrible camera movement transition. It was like the camera didn't even do this. It was like they took the frame of Winslow jumping and just moved it. Like this, so bad. It was so bad. Well, anyway, so yeah, for a low budget action horror flick, I was actually kind of okay on board at first. Like, all right, we got some zombie kills, and then the tall space marine. Oh, did he have like the worst death out of everyone? He's a huge, big dude, huge gun, and he shot like one zombie.
Yeah.
And then he had a line like, I'm badass, motherfuckers, or something like that. And then the other zombie came on top of him, and a lot of this.
From the top?
This
stopped off from the top or something? Yeah, something.
Like, this is so lame and lazy. Like, stop this. Let's get some, a little bit more decapitations here. Arms getting ripped off. Like, something. Give us, intestines coming out. Instead of dropping the intestines. Did you laugh at that? That happened later in the movie when the simp got yanked up the shaft, and then they just dropped a few sausages down. Hey, we got gore. It's rated R. Look, sausages.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I go back to like I think they just didn't know where to go with this film.
I think you're onto something. I mean, I think they want it. Well, what are you trying to be? You're trying to be scary horror or alien? And they failed at both. Like, it wasn't believable as a sci-fi. It wasn't scary enough or gory enough to be a horror film. Yes.
Fans. And so it like disappoint on both with kind of lame ass dialogue. And so I don't know.
So, John Hancock could have came up with a better script, but I'm pretty sure you could have wrote something better, and I could have directed the action scenes a lot better. But the captain, now earlier when he's on the ship before they even get to the base, what is he? Do you remember what he does? He's laying on the bed. Do you remember what he does?
No, I forget that part.
Yeah, it's a very forgettable movie. I understand. So he's laying on the bed and he's like looking at his family. Right?
Oh yeah.
He did the three tropes of death that he's gonna die. He's reminiscing on his family, then he misses them. Right? He's retiring. This is his last mission. I got 2 days to retirement.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. What was the third one? Oh man. There was another.
Yeah, he's the one with the shotgun.
Yeah. There was another trope, but I was like, he's dead. As soon as he started doing that, I'm like, he's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up dying, which was not a surprise. But at least they gave him a scene where he didn't go out like no punk. We needed more of that.
Yeah, and it was hard too because I think the other thing too, even though Joan was like the main character, there was just enough of other people that made it kind of confusing who's this like focused around. Like Joan wasn't strong enough to carry the movie, so you kind of like the guy that you're talking about. I don't know what his name is.
He's just Captain. He was the captain.
Captain. I like Captain the most, but I don't know. It just didn't work. Like it would have been better to have more of a focus on either or. And then he's in a decent amount, and you kind of like him. You know, he's trying to stand up for Joan, and he's trying to. Everybody else has got an issue because of her decisions of her past. That's why the whole crew's got an issue with her. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to like keep it in order and stuff. Right. But he's a likable character.
Yeah,
but he wasn't like. It's kind of like they didn't know how much to use him and how much to have him in the background because he was like. It was kind of like there's a dent in the wall. And we're going to use him to paste it to cover up the screw up, which was Joan the actor because she couldn't act her way out of a paper bag, and so discount Ripley is right, dollar store discount Ripley,
Diet Ripley,
I
would agree with you. The captain, even his acting was you could tell the guy was trying, and Winslow obviously he's there for comedic relief, right? Mm-hmm. But just it doesn't take much to entertain me if like I said, if I can accept it within its genre. Okay, it's low budget. Have you seen a werewolf film called Dog Soldiers?
Haven't seen that one.
When you get some free time, if you like horror and werewolf movies, you're gonna love Dog Soldiers. And that's my favorite werewolf movie of all time.
Okay.
And Dog Soldiers is low budget. As soon as the movie starts, you can tell. Like it's a low budget movie, but the designs of the werewolves were very, very good and something different. But there's action, there's some cool gore effects. They're fighting against the soldiers who are outnumbered by the werewolves, and there's even a whole bunch of dark comedic elements in there. Like you're gonna laugh at some points, but it's a blast, and it's a small budget movie, so it can work.
It can.
But this is like, we must go here and we must do this. And I'm Discount Ripley. But can you explain to me the pilot that was still on the ship? Okay, so the demon that comes through, did the demon somehow possess the ship?
Okay, so there's a couple. Like, so supposedly, it gets downloaded, some evil download or something in the ship. Like, but I had an issue with that.
Yeah.
And then the other issue is the good scientist, or I don't know what his name is. It doesn't matter. But it's when he's trying to make the power go back up.
Yeah, scientist.
So he takes a part out, a necessary part, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to fake the core thinking it doesn't need this."
Yeah.
And it's just like not believable. Those are the two things about tech in this that that's not believable. Yeah. Like they could have done 10 things differently about that. They could have just showed some wires and say, "Oh, I'm going to take these wires, I'm going to fix it."
Yeah.
And they could have done that more believable than saying, "Oh, it didn't need this part anyways. I just tricked it."
Yeah.
No, you didn't, you liar.
But I was like, the pilot's sitting on the ship. He's trying to leave.
That was dumb. Yeah, it's
the Space Marines are not responding. So he's like, you know what, fucking, I'm out. I'm just here to deliver these guys. I'm out of here. And he's like, Daisy, let's lift off.
Yeah.
Daisy.
Yeah.
I am no longer Daisy. My name is not Daisy. I was like, oh God. What is this garbage?
Yeah. Do you think Daisy was a nod to 2001: Space Odyssey? When the Hal goes, Daisy.
Oh, wow. That's sad. Sorry, I got my bootleg notes here. But yeah, I actually took bootleg notes that I'm not even really looking at because it's it's this movie. But yeah, right around the time where I was kind of like disconnecting myself from the movie. Like the movie was losing me. I was like, all right, movie, I accepted you on your own terms.
Yeah.
All right, we got some action here. Okay, let's see where it goes. Very lame deaths on the Space Marines. I was like, oh, all right, this is not what I want. And then we come across Louis Mandylor, or AKA Louis Mandylor, who's a really good actor. I like him. And he's in this movie, and it's so bizarre seeing him in this movie playing a priest. I'm like, did he owe someone a favor? Like, it's so weird seeing him in this movie. And his character was really the only character that, not just because I just like the actor, but his character was really the only character where I was kind of like, I like these little side characters like this if they know how to use them. So he used to be a Marine himself.
Yes.
You get this little backstory.
Yeah, backstory. He wanted to, he used to kill, but now he does, he didn't want to kill anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he kicks ass for the Lord. Right.
Yeah.
And, he gets injured a little bit. And at the end, he has some interesting dialogue between him and the Marine. He's like, I salute what you guys do. I just don't do it anymore myself. I don't kill anymore. And then later, I think he saved Discount Ripley, right? Yeah, he saved her. He comes out there just guns ablazing, blasting the demon. When I was like, all right. And I was hoping he would tag along to help fight the good fight. And then maybe later die at the end or something like that. But I like characters like that. And now they just killed him off. All right, he's dead. All right, he's gone. Why did you even waste our time with this backstory on this character if you're just going to kill him off literally 5 minutes later?
Well, I think you bring up a good point. Like, there was so the main character can't carry the story. Right. And then you have all these other things trying to move the story along that really, I think you said it best, disinterested. By about halfway through the film,
checking out,
I'm done. Okay, so she's trying to get to the bottom of this, the space station, turn it on, so they can escape.
Right.
Everybody's dying. And the priest, he was pretty interesting. I didn't know his backstory, but he seemed like an okay character, but they didn't know how to use all these side characters. They were fleeting moments that come in. Yeah. But instead of grabbing your attention, it just made it kind of more distant and confusing. It's okay, story. Okay, the story's not good enough. The action's not good enough. Okay, the gore's not good enough.
This feels like a soft R.
Very much a soft R. I was surprised, actually. I mean, I guess some of the gore, but it definitely was. They could cut some things out and be like a PG-13.
Yeah, they could have. But yeah, he kind of reminded me a little bit of the priest character from Dusk Till Dawn, right? He doesn't kill, and then he became a servant of God, right? We killed him off. Okay, all right. What? Yeah, that was lame. But just the movie was losing me. I'm checking out. I'm really checking out, especially when Dr. Malcolm, that was his name, he at some point tries to turn the crew against Diet Ripley. And I was just like, dude, wrap this up.
Yeah. Wrap
this up, man. He's like, oh, yes, remember she brought you out here and punished you because of her misdoings. And you never liked her either. Blah, blah, blah. It was just, I was like, no, just no, end it. In this. So I was just like, no. And then we had more lame deaths. Let's drop some sausages from the elevator. There you go. That's all you get. And here's where I was like, okay, now they're going to bring in the BFG. Now, I want your honest opinion of the big fucking gun.
Well, I mean, I think the first Doom movie did a better job.
Yes.
Obviously, you have Rock and stuff, and like, I don't know, like, you know, the chainsaw and the shotgun, like they were trying to do homages to Doom,
Right.
but I think it lost the fans with the second, with the actual alien design, and then when it went to like the whole story and like, you know, when it went to the planet or wherever the heck they were and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I think by then it was just, no, you guys are cashing in. You guys are cashing in on the name and
no movie. Bad movie.
Yeah. No, like seriously, like you have such a great franchise. I mean, seriously, what they should have done is got a bunch of passionate fans around and drew ideas and premise, paid them pizza and some beer, and made that movie.
Yeah,
because this is the problem with Hollywood sometimes is they think they got a great idea. Yeah, they see something popular and they forget what made something memorable, nostalgia. And when I see this movie, it's hard to really connect it completely to Doom. Yeah, there's some nods, and I know it's, you know, but I didn't feel like I was watching a Doom movie. I felt like I was watching a movie that was trying to cash in on the Doom name with a couple nods that was something else. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all.
No.
But watch the first Doom with Rock, much better.
Yeah, it's like The Raid compared to this.
Yeah, and even that one's kind of so-so. But yeah, I mean, this is bad. This is bad.
But the BFG was so lame. The blast.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
It was like people should be blowing up or being disintegrated. No, they just fall down. Oh, well, I'm like, come on.
And even like dramatic effect with like music or like, you know, I think lighting and sometimes movies want to do more. They want to just show, you know, a bunch of things being slaughtered. Yeah. And I think that like sometimes you can make it scarier. Like maybe she's, you know, got only a couple shots left of the BFG and she's near dark and there's a big alien or something. Like they could have done so many different things. Yeah. And you know, we weren't there. I guess it was filmed in Bulgaria. I mean, who knows like if there was what all the issues.
Maybe they had a week to do the movie. Who knows?
Yeah, you know, and a lot of these directors, you know, they get a good idea, right? But you know, they're not the passionate fan of a game series. They're like, I want to make a film that, you know, makes money and makes more than what it costs to produce. I'm not finding how much it costs to produce, but
I closed IMDb after I was done with it. I didn't want to read anymore, but the BFG was lame, and you have that badass hero shot of all the bodies, and she gets in the elevators. I was like, no movie. And you know what made me go fuck this movie? After she shoots all those demons and zombies, she still has a lot, you know, ammo left. Yeah, she loses the gun instantly.
Yeah, it's just everything about how they did the BFG and ammo. Like the director, like seriously. They need to go back and watch Aliens. Okay, that's how you do ammo and scary and all that. Yeah, and I've seen low budget do it right. Yeah, and to me, like the BFG, when I think of the BFG, I don't think you don't have all the ammo that person had. I mean, you have like a couple shots. You better make them count.
Right. She had like a whole like belt.
Yeah, and I mean, and then they did the whole like CG end. And I'm sure they spent.
That's where all the budget went to. I think.
Yeah, 1,000 special effects, and he went to this planet. I think you could have had. I think you could have had the planet not CG, and it would have been more believable with like less lighting. Because I think you could use a lot with lighting. Like, okay, you don't have a budget, just make it dark. Okay, right. Make it dark. Show just a couple like or one scary enemy. Yeah, I don't know. Like it just they kind of lost it when it went to that CG. I thought it was like at the very end. Yeah, and it was kind of, but I don't know. It
Yeah, no, it wasn't great, but you could tell that's where all the budget went. You could tell because they had multiple creatures demons on screen, and you had the main boss. That the final boss fight was lame.
He looked like a discount Lord of the Rings enemy.
He did.
It's like, I was like, seriously, like, you know, the fire and stuff. It's like, no, he didn't steal that from anything.
We got a discount Sauron here.
Yeah. Total discount Sauron. Like, seriously.
Yeah, as soon as she gets the gun, the BFG gun, right after that, she gets disarmed. I was like, really?
Yeah.
So anyway, the evil demon, I mean, whatever. The evil demon scientist pushes her to hell, the portal. She shows up in the portal. She gets overrun. She shoots at discount Sauron after having this big, huge speech like, yes, now demons of hell, it is our time to go conquer Earth because we taught them math. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it was that dumb. Like, at the end, he starts talking like we have a way to get back. Or
yes. Yeah.
And it's like, man.
And a lot of people.
Lame.
Yeah, and she sets some bombs, and then she gets through the portal and comes to. Now, did she go to an alternate version of Earth, or she did get back to her Earth?
Well, I thought that she made it on Earth, and it was right. So it was like a kind of like a time portal. So like she went through the portal, and they thought it was a scientist that was coming through, but I don't know if like it was like
they thought it was Dr. Malcolm. Because they're like, hey, we got the messages from Dr. Malcolm that he's coming through. And
then she's like, shut it down. This is bad. And then they drug her.
I need some vodka.
Yeah. I know she asked for vodka. And like, actually, that little part there was almost like, okay, that's okay. But yeah, the rest of the cmovie, there's little bits and pieces that are almost believable, but there's long periods that are just terrible, and it just kind of craps on itself. I think it's worth the fan rating.
Yes,
50% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think the reviews are higher than that, but I don't think it's higher than that. It's bad.
No, it is really that bad. It is, and I read a couple of comments and a couple of reviews on IMDb. I was just curious, and everyone was like, "Oh, we had the worst ending ever." I'm like, it wouldn't have mattered if it had a good ending. It wouldn't have mattered. And you know what? I'm actually okay with the ending. You know why?
I'm totally okay with the ending.
You know why? Because I want everyone to fucking die.
I like that ending.
I want all the characters to die.
So I am not a big fan of having a bow tie ending. So I'm a big fan of John Carpenter.
Yeah.
John Carpenter's A Thing, 1980,
classic.
82?
Classic.
I don't know, early 80s.
Yeah.
And he was awesome at one of his movies. He really was big on, screw that traditional story.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and the Thing, essentially they freeze to death.
Right.
Or you think that happens. And Big Trouble Little China. Hey, aren't you going to kiss the girl and stay with her? And he looks at her and goes, no.
Nope. Walked out. That was so great.
The ending, I like the ending in this movie. I actually think it works.
Mm-hmm.
Of the problems with this film, that's not one of them.
Right? It's like, why are you complaining about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So bad effects. One practical suit that they reused.
Yeah.
Bad dialogue. They taught us math. Discount Ripley, discount Sauron, discount zombie demons. Not to get gore effects, not enough of it, and they're not impressive, and not enough action either.
Yeah, didn't know what to go as. I think the biggest problem too is, are you trying to be a sci-fi movie or trying to be a horror film? And it fails at both. As the movie continues, it really doesn't appeal to either genre.
No. So no more of these movies. Stop it, Hollywood. But they'll never stop.
The thing is, like, if you're a fan, if you're a director or an actor, director, and you want to make a film, have a panel of passionate fans.
That's it.
I mean, it won't cost that much.
No.
And I'm sure it's pride. I'm sure it's other things. It's time. But you need to get people involved so you don't make a movie like this and be remembered as the director that got Doom wrong. Because I mean that's what it comes down to, and it happens time and time again with several films.
Yeah,
where it wouldn't take that much to have another voice come in and say, you know what, maybe you should do this, or this would be more believable. Same budget.
Yeah, same budget.
And there's films that do it right. Like you're talking about your werewolf film budget
Dog Soldiers
doing right.
Yeah.
Because they probably consulted with other people or passionate fans of that genre to make it right.
Yeah, right. I totally agree with you. And there's a lot of fans out there that would write the script for free. They don't even have to get paid. They'll do it for free because they love it, But yeah, this is really that bad. I'm sorry, John, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because at least we can talk about it. Even if we watch painful movies, it's always fun talking about it here on the channel.
Well, I mean, and I think watching this, I watched it on Netflix, and I think that is a benefit. This is a movie I probably wouldn't have rented back in the day.
Right.
But, on a service like Netflix, it's well worth checking out some movies like this and just seeing whether or not, I never had time for this. I had time this weekend and I watched it. And even though, it was bad, but it's not like so bad I want my time back. I'm glad I watched it, and now I can say I'll never watch it again.
Yeah. I just kind of checked out, and I was just like, end. I wasn't like, burn this movie to the ground. I was just like, just end it now.
Those are the worst, though. Yeah. Like when you it's not worth your time. That's the worst. This I would say is bad. I don't recommend watching it unless you're want to see how bad and how they got Doom wrong.
Watch it for free then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to keep you too long, but thanks again.
Yeah.
Brother Hancock, the Immortal, hanging out with the Samurai today, talking movies, video game related. We may do more of these in the future. I know he's extremely busy, but we'll try to get him back on here in the future. Maybe keep a theme here. Video game movie reviews. I think
I'd be down with another one.
All right, awesome. Head over to the Immortal John Hancock's YouTube page and subscribe. And subscribe to the Old Samurai if you haven't done so. Thanks again for watching, liking, sharing, all that good shit. And watch good movies, but have fun watching us rant about the bad ones.
Absolutely.
See you guys next time. Take care.